Kohli goes down the ground. Kohli goes out of the ground. Talk me through that.
The 3 or 4 pieces of commentary that I'm proudest of. This is definitely one of those, and without doubt, the most difficult commentary stint that I've ever done in my life. Because here is a game that's almost gone. It's an India-Pakistan game. The emotion behind an India-Pakistan game, nobody is watching it rationally. I remember Peter Drury telling me we have to remain rational in spite of the fact that the audience is always irrational. So how do you stay rational when you know everybody is watching it irrationally? The same commentary clip is going out to India, it's going out to Pakistan, it's going out all over the world. Everybody, this is the most watched clip. And the game is almost gone and it starts to turn around.
Yeah.
And you've got to be in that moment. But when Kohli plays that shot, I say Kohli goes down the ground because I have no idea that ball's going for six, because that shot does not go for six. It's very, very rare that a player has the skill to play that shot for a six. So I don't know it's going for a six. If he plays this one, which he does on 18.6, you can see as soon as it hit the bat that it's probably going for six. 18.5, anybody tells you they knew that it's going for a six, they're either high on something or they're lying. So that is why the first line is Kohli goes down the ground, and then suddenly there's amazement in my own voice. I said, that went out of the ground. So hence Kohli goes out of the ground. But I was just reacting to the situation. Then there's a second six, and the game is not over yet. So I cannot, for example, say, yeah, man, Kohli, you're the dude, you're the biggest, you're the superstar, you're smashing them, man, which a major part of my audience wants me to say.
Yes.
But I cannot, because I will look incredibly stupid if then he gets out in the next over and India lose that game by 4 runs. So I have to stay in the moment. My audience expects me to do something which I cannot do. Now remember, my responsibility as a world feed broadcaster is this game is being watched in Pakistan too. Now if I say, yeah man, Kohli, you're the greatest, you did this. What about those guys? Would you like it if a Pakistani commentator responded to, say, Babar hitting Bumrah for 6 and saying, hey, Bumrah, what are you, man? This is Babar. We won't like it. So I've got to keep that in mind. Then you come to the commentary that I actually enjoyed a little bit more, which was, what are you doing, Nawaz?
Yes.
When the ball misses the leg stump. Incredible presence of mind from Ravichandran Ashwin. Who leaves a ball at that stage? Who leaves a ball? Can you imagine the extraordinary composure in his mind? If he leaves the ball and it nicks the pad, you're looking like the most stupid person on the planet. Then when the match is over, I had only thought of one line. I said, if India win and Kohli takes us through, this is the line that might make sense, but I cannot keep thinking of the line because then I'm going ahead of myself. So the line I had in my mind was, these are the kind of innings, Virat, that take you from the present into legend. I say it after the game is over. I cannot say it while the game is on. Can you imagine? I'm saying, this is the kind of innings, Virat, that makes you a legend. Boom, next ball, top edge, out. And he's like, hey, I can't lie. So that gets lost in the clip. Now, you asked me about doing commentary for clips. In the clip, you get a bit of commentary. When the game ends, you get that. When Kohli is walking back, I said, these are the kind of innings, Virat, that take you from the present into the legend. That doesn't make the clip, but that is the line that I was most satisfied.
You've also gotten trolled for that.
More than I've ever been in my life, because one of the realities of life is that there are troll armies these days, and if people don't like you, you could be alert, you could be the greatest broadcaster the game has ever seen, but if people don't like you, they will find ways of saying that is bad. We're seeing at the moment on social media, if you say, wow, Rohit, there's an army of people who say nasty things about Rohit Sharma. To some extent, if you say, wow, Virat, there's an army of people going after Virat. And this is extremely unhealthy, not just for cricket, but it's very unhealthy for society. Can you imagine what a terrible, terrible way to live life that is purposeless, sad, angry? We only live once, and yet there's so many people who want to do that. I feel sorry for them.
The 4 that has been hit, your line cannot be longer than the video that will go on clips. So how do you adjust your lines to those?
Your line has to be short enough when you're calling it. When you're doing it on radio, your line can be beautifully evocative. You can take a minute to go into it. because it's not linked to a certain picture. On TV, it has to be. And it reminded me of there was a lit fest I went to many years ago, and Gulzar Saab was going to be on it, and Swanan Kirkere, whom I'd got to know, was also on it. And I was interested to see a very talented younger lyricist chatting with one of the legends. And Gulzar started talking about his great song from Bandini, Mora Gora Rang Laile Mohe Sham Rang De De. And Swanan then said, Gulzar साहब आप बुरा ना माने, लेकिन हमारी लाइन जो है वो ना रिंगटोन में आ सकती है. ये देखते हैं हम कि मैं एक लाइन लिखूं जो रिंगटोन में जाए. तो मैं आज मोहा गोरा रंग दे मैं नहीं लिख सकता आज उस सिचुएशन में. ये फर्क पड़ा है. अब हम लिख रहे हैं और उसमें. And I suddenly thought, that's exactly what we're doing with our clips. You listen to all the great commentators of the past, and they're this great power of words and whatever. But I'm saying, I've got 6. I've got 6 words. I've got maybe 8 words. And I've got to be in that moment in those 8 words. So that's how things are changing.
How has Harsha Bhogle's commentary, according to you, evolved?
It is inevitable that it will evolve. Typically, it has to do with growing confidence. The growing confidence will reflect in the manner you speak, the manner you pause. A lot of people of my generation were told that people from England or Australia are better than you. And so you wanted to be like them. And so you'll find that everybody of my generation or slightly before would have had a little accent that you thought was a smart accent to have. In course of time, you realize I'm fine as I am, And so you'll find in my work that the accent changes as you go along. The speed changes because when you're not confident, you speak very fast. It's like a batter who's afraid of the ball, of the fast bowler, plays too many shots because he's not sure of his defense. The pauses arrive. As you get older, your voice deepens a little bit. It'll happen to you as well. As you get older, the voice deepens. So then you can play your voice a little bit more. So that happens when you start to own the pause, as the great Richie Beno said. You do that. But commentary is very different from hosting. For a long time, I was a host who did commentary. And the challenges of a host are vastly, vastly, vastly different from the challenges of a commentator.
You say that, you were basking in the reflected glory of people like Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, the big 5 as they call them.
The greatest broadcasting time of my life.
Broadcasting time of your life. Now, you will have a Rohit retiring. You will have a Virat retiring. You will have a Dhoni retiring from the IPL. How will your perspective for that change versus the perspective of Sachin? Because there is that difference, right? How will you call that versus this?
The relationship will be different. The individual relationship will be different. For example, I had been to Sachin's son's first birthday. I've been to Sachin's wedding. I've gone to Hyderabad to VVS Lakshman's wedding. I've been at a restaurant where Anil Kumble paid the bill. You always remember these things. Who pays the bill? I've been at a restaurant. Lovely, lovely, dignified man. So there are these relationships that you've built and a trust that they had in you, that some things will never come out. There was no clickbait. There was no desire to be the story that will be everywhere. So trust remained.